Today on Forbes, how AI is ushering in a new nuclear age. At Allo Atomic's 40,000 square foot factory on the south side of Austin, Texas, workers move 5/8-inch thick steel plates onto machines that slowly bend and roll them into 12-foot wide cylinders, which they then weld into 25-foot tall vessels. These could be made cheaper by outside contractors, but Allo co-founder and CEO Matt Lozak wants to do this work in-house, since each vessel will eventually contain the guts of a 10-megawatt nuclear fission reactor. 5 of these Allo 1 reactor units, working in tandem, will power a single 50-megawatt electric turbine, enough juice to run a large data processing center or 45,000 homes. Lozak, a 35-year-old Canadian engineer now on his third startup, declares, quote, "It's not a paper reactor, it's getting built." In August, Allo broke ground on a 2-acre site at the Department of Energy's Idaho National Laboratory, where it aims to achieve so-called criticality by July 4, 2026, America's 250th birthday, and the deadline President Donald Trump has set for at least 3 U.S. startups to prove that their advanced nuclear reactor designs work. To achieve criticality, Allo will load a vessel with off-the-shelf nuclear fuel rod assemblies and then initiate a self-sustaining nuclear fission chain reaction. As for producing electricity, that comes later. Even after achieving criticality, Allo will still need to build out manufacturing and a supply chain of vendors, sign data center customers, and get final approval from the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. Lozak is shopping for up to 1 million square feet for a gigafactory and recently hired Bryson Gentile, who headed Falcon 9 manufacturing at Elon Musk's SpaceX, to set up Allo's mass production operation. Lozak vows, quote, "We'll get the factory set up, come down the cost curve, and have this holy grail product. What Elon did with electric cars and rockets was kind of like running the 4-minute mile. When that happens, everyone's like, wait, this is possible." He hopes to produce electricity in 2027. Demand for electricity is soaring, largely because of the power-sucking data centers undergirding the artificial intelligence boom. And Lozak isn't the only nuclear entrepreneur aiming to ride the wave of AI dollars. A dozen ventures with names like Valor Atomics, Oklo, Kairos Power, and X Energy are racing to perfect, permit, and deploy a new generation of small, prefabricated reactors that could power individual data centers or even feed the larger electrical grid. So far in 2025, venture capitalists, stock market investors, billionaires, the Department of Energy, and others have poured more than $4 billion into these and other new U.S. nuclear ventures, versus closer to $500 million in 2020, per PitchBook. Tens of billions more will be needed if nuclear power is to make a comeback. 2-year-old Allo has raised $136 million, $100 million of that in August, with billionaire Antonio Gracias' Valor Equity Partners as its lead backer. Valor was one of Tesla's first institutional investors, and Gracias, who sits on SpaceX's board, told Forbes that Allo will be a winner because of its commitment to manufacturing and vertical integration, quote, "similar to Tesla's first principles approach to batteries, electric vehicles, and robotics." These startups won't all succeed, but the stars seem aligned for nuclear energy's comeback. Demand is there. OpenAI's Sam Altman has said he'll need an outlandish 250 gigawatts of power in 8 years. For comparison, that's as much as Brazil uses. More sober analysts predict that by 2030, data centers will need double the roughly 40 gigawatts they now consume. At the current average industrial electricity price of 9 cents per kilowatt hour, 40 gigawatts would cost $32 billion a year. But prices will rise if demand grows faster than generating capacity. Analysts see natural gas turbines filling maybe 60% of the need, but those are on 4-year backorder. Coal remains unpopular, no matter how often Trump refers to the dirtiest fossil fuel as, quote, beautiful and clean. Wind and solar, besides being on Trump's hit list, don't provide the sort of 24/7 reliability data centers require. That's a big gap for nuclear startups to fill. For full coverage, check out Christopher Hellman and Phoebe Liu's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.